I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
we did. I don't know.
Oh, hey.
Didn't
what
you
is
get
it
the
to be
point no
alive?
one cared about
So am
Ithaca?
I. Come on.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey, everybody. Wow, it's us again.
Whoa.
I can't even believe it. This is like, what, our 30th anniversary show.
Thirty-
Can't believe we've been on the air that long,
I
but
can't
here
believe
we are.
We've been
It
doing
feels
this since
like
I
it.
was 9 years old. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's been a long road.
Welcome
It's been a
back.
long
Everything's
road.
different. The cameras are all pointed oddly.
It's almost as if we dismantled the entire system and put it back together.
I know.
And no one would even know any different if you hadn't just point out all the...
Well, yeah.
Welcome to our show. Let me tell you about all the things in the setup that I didn't quite do right.
Yes.
And
Open,
it's going to be your first 15 minutes.
Lost in Space and Time for over 10,000 years on a mission they were never meant to return from.
They have returned.
We have returned.
They are the Comic Shop. The Oswego Comic Shop does a podcast with me, Aaron Zaley.
Oh, I'm Evan Coy. We're here with regular guest star
Scott Whalen.
and very special guest star.
Me, Martin.
Oh, boy.
Like Skeletor?
Mm-hmm.
Do
We
your-
need Sheridan. I
Do your,
can't do
do
it.
your Krang.
Shredder.
Now do your Susan Sarandon.
He's thinking.
Hyper liberal comment. I don't have a Susan Sarandon quote.
Okay.
Oh, Scott, what's going
Come
on?
on. Not much, not much. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, best part of my week. Besides
Oh, my goodness.
free comic book day.
If this is the
What
best
now?
part of your week, we need to have an intervention. There's a lot of life out
The
there.
Comic Shop does a podcast
I
where
do look forward to
1/4 of the cast is
Come on.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
Hey, I look
I
forward
showered
to
for
doing
this.
this.
Come on.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't.
It's not, I can tell.
I'm a middle school teacher.
I apologize.
I'm just on default, I'm the best smelling person in the room at any given
You
time.
look good today, though. You're classically handsome.
Thank you.
We
You
don't
got, you
think.
got a
We,
little bit of like the hair's a little like,
a little messy
but it
there.
looks good. It looks art
Artist-like.
teacher. Yeah.
We'd
yeah.
all bang you.
No.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Problem.
Yeah. A little bit of hype. Yeah, going into that. That's nice.
Free comic book day, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
Now, are the comics really free?
Not,
To
so,
you-
not
to
for
you.
us.
Somebody paid for those. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Although
indeed.
it looks like we're getting a little bit of a refund back there. We were billed incorrectly. Well, Diamond billed everybody incorrectly.
Incorrectly, yeah.
apparently, So
They double dipped on shipping.
So we got an email today that said, "Hey, we owe you money." So
I thought they were going to do shipping cheaper. I thought they were a big thing.
No.
it's cheaper, but if they tag you twice for shipping, it's not
No, what they've
cheaper.
done is the Penguin Random House model, where they will just ship things out as you order it because it's now done based on weight instead of by box. So
So as soon as they
it's
justify
more
it, they
convenient
send
for
it.
them.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's-
that sounds right.
I was about to say it's not terrible, but
It's
for
not
you,
great
for
either.
you it must be annoying because
Yeah.
you're the one who parses through
Yeah.
most of this stuff. I every once in a while I poke at things, but it's your. Whereas there was a system where everything comes in once a week,
Oh, the Arlene
and
years.
you know what you're getting, as opposed to what's this random box? What's that random box? Sometimes you get one comic at a time.
Oh, we're getting in a what's the furthest place from here? I believe it's number 3 deluxe vinyl edition ordered in November of 2021.
Vinyl?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Yeah, it only took
Yeah, built up the suspense there.
2.5 years.
And if it's like every other one, we're probably not going to get the actual vinyl record either. I think we've
It's
gotten
good the
one
book
or
is still
two.
selling because it probably would have been.
Yeah,
The vinyl that we have had has just gone home with me.
yeah.
But
I think it's the only one that.
Is it good?
I haven't listened to it.
Oh, okay.
But they had a soundtrack for those. Do they still do that? I don't.
No, they stopped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find some on eBay, but like I'm not gonna spend it.
No,
I
they're-
don't even have a record player.
They're only $12 to $15 on
Should buy
eBay for
them.
the most part. But what had happened during the pandemic is that the world shuts down, and then
Wait, what happened?
in addition to that, what somebody told me, we don't fact check anything on the podcast, but what a customer told me who was getting the book was that there's like 3 big vinyl record producers in the world, and one of them burned down during the pandemic as well.
Oh.
So I think you had this confluence of like you can't get things from printers, you can't get things from distributors, and then one of the biggest record producers in the world burns down. So now your comic book record is not a high priority at all next to the Taylor Swift records that need to be printed and things like that. So
Right.
that was my take on that. But I did bring a couple of those. So we did get some of those records just later on, sans comic. And we tried, like, we didn't have the comics at that point in time, and we're not a record store. And I'm like, I have vinyl. I like records, so I'll just take these. And I thought it was a cool idea. I think it was just the timing was Aaron, what are you watching?
I'm
The cool
listening
part.
very intently to what you're saying.
Yes.
I could tell. We're having a conversation, Scott, you and I, and then Martin and Aaron are definitely
Oops,
watching.
that's
X-Men.
gotta hurt, Mr. Wolverine.
What happened there?
My feelings got hurt.
Yeah. So, Free Comic Book Day, Martin.
Yeah, what's that?
There were comics that were free that
Mhm.
were given away.
Were they free?
Well, for me,
You're working hard, Martin.
I am.
Lucy,
you working on
Lucy
it,
was
too?
very happy
I
to
was
get.
just-
her
Yeah. Oh, the
Snoopy.
special She did her nice little concert series that we had unplanned.
Yeah, that was great. That was a highlight of the day
Michael
for me.
Snoopy. Okay, the Snoopy Free Comic Book Day was like mind-numbingly, surprisingly popular.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I didn't think there was still this great love of Snoopy across generational lines.
Well,
But
maybe there will be now.
it went very fast.
Yeah, that surprises me
Did
too.
you run out of them?
Oh, we ran out of everything.
If you don't sell them, but you still run out of them, since you don't sell them out, what do you call that exactly?
We didn't run out
Give
of
out.
them.
It's been given out.
I freed them out. Set them free.
I don't know. You're confusing everyone.
Sorry about that.
Because we're dumb.
She also got the Spidey.
That's my friends.
and his
Amazing friends.
with Ghost Spider and Miles Morales.
A good example of a comic that should be produced for Free Comic Book Day.
That one?
Why is that
Yeah.
a good example?
Because that is it's an all ages friendly book, and I think that it's something that would lead to someone wanting to buy more comics.
Also, did you flip through it at all?
Activity book.
Well, activity book, but also
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of it gives an explanation of how you read comics.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
I mean, that should be in the beginning of all of them, right?
I was very encouraged on, you said getting people into comics, kids into comics. Our kids section was decimated.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy. That Michael said it made a comment, he goes, I think we sold more Little Golden books today than we've sold all year. To which, in the heat of battle, you go, whatever, we're selling, that's great.
Yeah, you told me he said that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then I went over
And
and
then I went
looked,
over on
and looked,
Tuesday
like,
morning, and I
"Eesh."
was putting a couple kids' books we got away, and I was like, oh my gosh. We sold through a lot of stuff, and that's what encourages me, is that can we find new readers? Can we find kids to get hooked on this stuff? That they're in the kids section now, maybe in 3 or 4 more years they're on the wall, and then maybe 3 or 4 more years later that they're at the indie bookshelves looking at the weird image stuff that's coming out, and like, can we capture those? So that was very good. That was very encouraging for Comic Book Day.
Yeah, that's one of my main things I like is when a book is new reader friendly. It's something that's going to get you generally interested in those characters and that world, which you don't necessarily get from the Absolute Power DC book, for example.
Yeah.
Our low seller giveaway or whatever.
Okay.
Our lowest giveaway.
Yeah. That languished.
DC had bad selections though this year, right?
Yeah. Well, they had the
Barkham Asylum. though.
Barkham Asylum.
Barkham
That was
Asylum.
popular.
Fun.
Yep.
That's really
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
And it had that helpful thing we saw when we flipped through last
The re-
week. The what you read next, the
what
different
you read
levels.
Yeah, if you like this writer, if you like this artist, if you like these characters, great, like a great little. Every comic, you're right, for the kids should have a how do you read a comic, and then if you liked this part, or you like this character, or you like the writing, or you like the art, here are the other books that you should look for. So I thought that was a good thing.
I'd rather have 10 books constructed in that with that mindset than 350 just random things thrown out in your
Yeah.
stupid vampire book.
Bloodhound.
Is anybody reading that?
Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be. You signed up for every last thing that came out
Yeah.
from it. You
Yeah.
and Vasquez.
I adore
Our-
vampire
my
stories.
two,
right? They're like my favorite from childhood, and
'Cause
so I
it's
always sign
Twilight.
up for them. Yes, because that's how old I am.
Yes,
Because
you are.
I was- so
You're
my
Michael
childhood.
Kelly years old.
But yeah, like it's always by the end of it, you're like, why did they do this? But either way, it's
Well,
neat. It's
every
cool.
comic crossover, you get to the end of it, and you
Yeah.
feel shame and guilt
Right.
for having put up with most of it.
Yeah. I am the odd one though that loved Jason Aaron's run so much on Avengers, and now I'm like, sort of like, man. Because like, I don't know why exactly. The art's great still, and these stories are fine, but like, yeah, man. But like having him, having Blade step in to become an Avenger, I thought was just a genius idea. Man, it worked so well. And then
Doctor Strange does not agree.
but then
Yeah.
we literally just had a whole year then when we left off with him like he was just languishing somewhere in Russia, waiting for the vampires to like step off, and then nothing. And then we're here. Ta-da! He's became a bad guy. So
Spoiler.
Spoilers.
Mhm.
Spoilers.
Not even a
We
week
got-
old, sir.
We
We'll
have
see.
killed 2 characters I like with 1 stone. Good job, Marvel.
It's,
A bloodstone.
Hey, let's look
I
at
wish
the-
it was the Bloodstone. It should be called the Bloodstone arc or something like that. Bring Elsa Bloodstone in and do some next wave. Bring Machine Man in. There we go. That's a crossover I'm on board with, but they'll never do that.
is there a comic where Karen Page was ever an actual superhero?
I don't
Ooh.
think so.
No,
Not that I
I would
recall.
defer to Martin for that one. Yeah.
I don't think so
Not
either.
even a what if.
I'm playing a video game right now, and like they're literally introducing her as a vampire like fledgling character, and
right.
and I think I'm gonna quit playing.
Wow. Are they high?
This is
I mean, it is
really
fiction,
strange.
but
Anything can happen.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who's gonna be her sponsor as a fledgling vampire.
What game
And
is
it's
this?
Marvel Strike Force,
Oh, okay.
and so they're wondering whether it's gonna be Doctor Voodoo, or
Dr. Voodoo.
or
I prefer Brother Voodoo.
I was about to say,
How dare you?
Elsa
I know.
Bloodstone.
Can we do Brother Voodoo, or is it Doctor Voodoo now?
It's Doctor.
It has been
Yeah.
Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah.
Woke.
Or Morbius could be one of her other mentors. Elsa, Morbius, Doctor, and I picked Doctor.
Yeah, I like Dr.
I'm
Voodoo.
never gonna get my way though.
Morbius
My friend.
wouldn't be good for her career.
It's too bad because
nails.
Morbius was kind of a cool character. And
Pretty dope.
his brand has just been like drug through the mud.
I've never cared
yeah.
for Morbius.
Really?
I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not like amazing, but he doesn't suck
He does.
through his hands.
I didn't like the action.
Code approved.
really in the movie.
Comic
I
code
thought,
approved.
I thought the plot was pretty decent, but like
I never saw the movie.
When
didn't put anything together.
Mama's geeky Tessa Smith has nothing
Yes.
nice to say about something, I know to
Right.
stay away from it.
It's the one
The
movie.
nicest lady in the world
when
can't
he
say.
jokingly said, "I'm Venom" at one point. I thought that was the best part. Period. The whole
Did he ever
movie.
actually say it's Morbin time in the movie?
Oh,
No,
that'd be good.
No, I think.
I think you give the script way too much credit.
It's more.
It's
It's
Morbin
Morbin
time.
time. It's funny though. That's
Yeah.
a good meme.
That's all I've seen of the movie.
That'll be your sketch for today.
Morbin time.
Yeah, just-
Let's look at a sketch that or exclusive print that Joe Orsak did. Joe Orsak, visiting artist. That's for you to open. We're gonna do an unboxing
You want me
too.
to cut this open, right?
No.
No,
Let's
no,
look at Joe
don't.
Orsak's.
Mike Costello will be sad that you destroy his original artwork.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Costello.
What was that sound?
That was the.
It's Aaron Berlin,
That was the Mike
Whoa.
Costello one.
or as you know him as, Ron Berlin.
No, you will call him Aaron Berlin.
Hey, let's look at this piece of
Will
art.
not be subject to
What's
this
going on here?
degradation of my
Ooh.
people.
You're on the podcast.
It's Captain Cuse, one of Joe's original characters, fighting. Is it Cold Front?
Lake Effect,
Lake
sir.
Effect.
It's the first villain created for
Cold
the
Front.
strip.
You can tell I paid attention. to
Yeah.
Was that Warmback? Cold Front Warmback?
And then the other character is
Port
Port
Authority.
Authority, who now is a villain,
Very
who is
communist
taking away the
looking.
view of our lighthouse.
Gaze upon this iconic structure no more.
But hey, that was
It's
cool.
very
We got
Australia
nice.
specific.
It is.
Well, the next one he did.
Yes, he did it, yeah.
He did it for us.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it was cool. We gave away this piece of original art. It
I'm
was
gonna keep
awesome.
going off. Sorry.
And also, we got a couple. Sean Luke sent us a couple trading cards
Ooh.
to give away as prizes.
Oui,
This
oui,
is-
Sean Luke.
We gave away the one already, but this is the other one. Look at the detail on that for that Boba Fett. Just how do you like?
Isn't
What
that
kind of micron is he drawing
Look.
with? Like
A small
a
one?
.0001.
I stay away from microns.
A black one,
'cause
probably.
I wanna
Would
be
you
able
say
to use
black?
My hands in my 60s.
Yeah,
We think it's black over here. We're not sure though.
yeah. You wouldn't know.
You can't see
A black
anything.
micron. You know, Micron's coming to Central New York. The
Really?
Micron factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get markers.
All the
at-
pens we
We're
need.
gonna get markers
15
at a
years away.
discount, bulk discount.
Hey, all right. Let's keep going. Let's do an unboxing here. We got something from Kevin Delgado in the mail too that
Who?
I want to. Kevin Delgado.
Oh, my arch nemesis?
Tough stuff. Oh, and you hit the camera.
You hit the
there,
camera,
too, I
but
think.
good.
Excellent.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
We have no way to
Let
fix
me-
that from
let me
here.
Fix that.
Because you
I
had
love
to talk-
as you touched that, lightning went off on the screen. It scared me a little bit.
Let's
Because,
do our unboxing here.
Now, who's Kevin Delgado?
Kevin Delgado is a artist out of Buffalo, New York, who is the front of the shop. He does tough stuff, a variety of cat-related books. You can use the other end of the box cutter if
Why
you
don't
like,
you use the
too.
sharp
Yeah.
side, dude?
Oh, that's what
There
this
we
is.
go. Wow, that wasn't
That's
a
how
bit.
blades work.
I've never used one like this.
That wasn't a bit.
I always have a big blade thing.
So this is
Big
going to
chunk.
lead me into a different story as
Cutter.
Aaron starts cutting the box.
You're
here.
responsible for a child? and many other people's children.
So
I don't often handle a blade around my child.
Okay, everybody,
Ooh.
I need to tell the story.
Okay, before Aaron cuts himself.
Before Aaron cuts himself.
Adult
last
supervision.
last fall we went out to breakfast. There was a group of us from the shop who went
Who
out to
did?
breakfast. You were a part of that group.
Oh, I was there?
And I discovered that Aaron doesn't know how to order eggs.
Oh, big
well done.
He asked for, I'd like eggs, and the waitress goes, "How would you like those eggs done?" And there was literally a genuine moment of confusion in Aaron's face as a 36, 37-year-old man didn't know how to order eggs. And then we start saying like, well, you can get them scrambled or over easy. And Aaron just goes, "I just don't like making decisions like this." And it was great because Aaron didn't know how to order eggs, much like he doesn't know how to use a box cutter. So this has been
Well, what they need to
Aaron.
do is just put like eggs are just scrambled. It's like I'll have the eggs, and they're like, oh, we scrambled them here. Here's your scrambled eggs. We're done.
Anyway.
We're done here.
I've been making fun of Aaron.
And Kevin Delgado also has a variant cover for the current Dick Tracy
Yes,
that is going for like, I think he said like $60.
$75
Yeah,
or
on
something
eBay now. Yeah.
Richard Tracy.
Yes.
Well,
That's a
where
cool.
is he?
He said that the Dick Tracy book was Mad Cave's best-selling book of the year or something like that.
Awesome.
And he did a small variant run for a few shops out in Buffalo, which I wish I knew about. Because sometimes when he does variant covers, it's like you're paying hundreds of dollars to get in on that. Whereas with Dick Tracy, it's just like we could have gotten 20 copies and it would have cost us, $40, and we would have something that would have been cool for the store. But I didn't realize that at the time. But anyway, shout out to Kevin Delgado, Dick Tracy cover.
We've got some toughenings. We
Yeah.
have an Ian Cinco cable.
Oh, Ian Cinco was the guy who did the This Car Lobotomizes Douchebags book.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Neon Spring?
Neon Spring, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if
He
I
did
gave you a copy of that. That's something I got when Aaron and I went to IC3 in CreatorCon back in March. This guy gave us a bunch.
I don't think so.
That was
He
before
did-
Ithacon, right?
He did a variant cover for Kevin's book. Phil.
You guys went there before Ithacon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did a pinup for me too. That'll be coming.
Do you want to crack one of these open and
I love
take a
it.
What do
look?
you think? You want to open up the holofoil cover?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's really good.
Because this must be done through what's the Comics Wellspring? They have these
Yeah.
foil covers. I'm just curious to see what the foil is like here.
Oh wow, that spot foiling is very nice.
Well, I think I think it's all printed on a foil cover. I don't think it's truly
Sure.
spot. I think
It looks weird from this angle. That white.
because the white I think is printed on top of the foil.
Okay, because it's.
Yeah, it's toner on top of the gold, on top of the foil paper.
Hey, let's flip it open. Let's take a look inside. This is the artwork that he was showing us at U of R last year.
Was that also before Ithacon?
Yes.
Okay.
So this,
Yes.
he had his big oversized iPad. Boy, I think he's getting better and better. I mean, I think it's inevitable that that's what happens.
Shout out to Jerk Comics there.
Is he doing his own coloring?
Well, like most
He
artists,
does his own- he does
it'll
everything.
Yeah,
it'll
that looks
plateau,
really
and
good.
then he'll be doing Frank Miller covers.
Maybe
Hey,
simplifying
don't hate
some
on
of
those
his writing.
covers. I like those covers.
Really good.
In fact, the more people hate on those Frank Miller covers, the more I like them.
That's good.
Well, that's your prerogative, sir.
Thank you.
Jerk Comics. I love that. That's great.
Well, that's
That's how you get a job there
internet
later.
guy. That's a channel. He's a good dude. He said some nice things about my stuff.
There's a Todd McFarlane page.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Kevin's actually very creative. So this is the Amazon type thing. Look at the package that he sent us.
Ah, Gorgon.
I'll put it on camera so people can see.
Oh, nice.
He made a fake Amazon package
Gorgon.
To match with the company.
to match the company in the book.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
See, he is more clever than he looks.
He is.
I've been trolling his posts online for I don't know why. I usually don't do that to people that I don't really know well.
Oh, Prince is on the boat. Oh, he's sending messages on the Bubble Mac. Sending that email.
Oh, this Tamagotchi.
It's a strangely
Oh yeah.
naked cat man.
Yeah, I know.
Gorgon. It's Bezos. It's not Bezos.
That is some
Shuriken.
band.
Oh, a little
It's quite
little
the
Street
jump.
Fighter 2 reference there.
Yes. He's got lots of.
Oh, I love that
Shut it
splash.
down,
That's a
open up
good
shop.
page turn. That's a good page turn.
We got the exposed eyeball.
Very cool. Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, we probably don't want to give away the whole thing.
Yeah, but very good. Kevin Delgado out of Buffalo. Tough stuff.
Part 2. Part 2.
Solstice Art.
Yes.
Find him at Solstice Art. Kevin
Solstice
Delgado.
Art.
That's great.
Oh, you want to talk X-Men?
Already?
Sweet.
So pretty.
Or was there anything else? Scott, tell us about X-Men. What's been going on with X-Men 97?
Do.
You know, they're really jumping through a lot of storylines really fast.
Yeah.
We've gone through about 15 years of comic books in 9 episodes.
We really have, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And a video game.
Yeah.
So it looks like our big bad is Sinister / Bastion.
Slash.
Right?
Slash.
Magneto?
Kind of.
No.
I love his character arc, though. Over the
Magneto?
Sunspot's mom. There we go.
No, Sunspot's
That was
mom.
your joke earlier. I'm stealing from you.
Well,
Poorly.
Sunspot's dad still hasn't been revealed either. I wonder if he's gonna.
It's Mystique.
Sunspot's dad.
Sunspot's dad's Mystique.
Everyone's dad is.
She
Mystique.
fathered a lot of kids. Is what we're gonna find
Well, I mean,
out.
she's a few hundred
True.
years old or something, right? So, how old
Yeah.
is Mystique? Do we know?
I think you're right. A few hundred years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
As old as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
What'll probably happen next? There'll probably be like all of her kids will just show up in an episode. Raze will be there, all blue.
And any
ready to
blue
go.
character that's ever appeared in a comic book will be.
Just show up.
And Rogue.
And Rogue. Yeah, the adopted sister.
Scott, give us a summary of what's been going on here. Take us through the
Sure.
take us through everything. All 15 years of ground we've covered.
Yeah, so we've now reintroduced the team after the 92 show, which it's nice to have them back, right? Beautiful art.
Yeah.
It starts out, and Professor X is maybe dead. We're not sure. But come to find out, he's with the Shi'ar?
I wish
Shi'ar.
Shi'ar. And he's getting ready to become emperor, which is cool. It's interesting, and we move on with the regular team who are all ready to go and like party and have a great time. And Jean is pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and her and Scott are ready to leave. And then who shows up? Magneto.
Jean. Oh.
And Jean.
Yeah.
Jean.
And then yes, after Magneto takes over as the new headmaster, and everybody's very confused and either excited or really pissed off.
Rogue is really excited.
Right. Rogue is having a tough time between her
Rough time.
and yeah, they next thing you know, we have another Jean. We have is it a doppelganger?
2 pairs of jeans.
Right.
Yeah.
2 pairs.
What is this? The sale at the Gap?
Yeah. And then Sinister, we find out he's been messing with everybody, as always, right? Which he is such a tremendous character. You can kind of like open-endedly use his powers however you want to, and then afterwards say, those are Sinister's powers. Because he's ever-changing, right?
I'm going to argue with you on that one. I don't think he could support his own episode of the series in 92 in Victorian times. The second to last episode of the series.
Okay, all right.
I do like that they kept the vocal effect on the voice actor.
Right.
I like that.
I feel like Sinister in the comics has changed so much in the past 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
And the Sinister that in the comics, I love.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like Sinister here. It's a throwback to an older Sinister.
Right.
Like a Sinister from 97?
Like a Sinister from the 90s, maybe. Maybe not.
Why would
97.
they do that?
I have no idea.
I
Yeah, even his power set's a little bit different. His interest in the whole group is different, But I mean, it's an earlier part of the story. He's really much more interested in just enslaving children.
Oh,
I
Starting
think
with
the
theirs.
Sinister morph started, I think, with the Matt Fraction, I think it was, X-Men. And then that's just a ball that everyone kept picking up until we got the hyper version from the Croca era. But
the
Croca?
yeah, the words are not happening right now.
Ribbit.
Yeah, Krakoa's been a little rough on a lot of characters. Do you guys like him in this show? I mean,
Magneto?
huh?
Or who? Sinister?
Yeah,
I do.
Like, do you think he's strong? I think he is, right? I think
Yeah.
he kind of keeps on like starting episodes and then just disappearing, and he shows up for like 10 minutes and disappears. And those are short episodes, but like
When he talks over that baby monitor, that's pretty
that's
pretty
pretty
creepy.
good, right?
Yeah, that was a good bit.
Yeah, Sinister in the shadows and coming forward and back in the shadows and playing everybody's kind of what he does. So it is nice.
Yeah, I think it's true. One of the things I love about X-Men '97, it really is true to all of these characters that you're playing with things in a different way, but I feel like all the characters are very true versions of themselves,
Sure.
including Sinister. And I think that Sinister's a good villain. I almost like him as the big bad better than Bastion. I'm a little Sentineled out.
Well, who loves
Yeah.
Bastion the most out of all the X-Men villains?
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And then they teased that Machine Man. Didn't give me the Machine Man. Ugh.
Yeah, did you in the room for Bastion's
The
childhood
episode before this one.
bedroom, Aaron pointed out that there's Sentinel-looking things like toys, but one of them is actually.
He had to go change his pants
So I
afterwards.
thought that was kind of a funny, yeah.
And it's an Easter egg they put in there only for me.
Only for you.
And they're like, don't worry, we're not going to do anything with that crappy character. We're just going to hint that the bad guy likes it.
I love the cameos that we've been getting though.
Yeah.
That actually, if anything, this last episode seemed to be light on cameos. I suppose after the previous
Last
one where
one
you
where it's
got
just like
Morph
one every 5
is
seconds.
the Hulk, though.
you got more of the
Hulk.
Hulk, but I really think that was the only thing that
Morph
That's
smash.
great, though, right?
What's that?
I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Morph
Uh,
Smash is great.
And then Jean picks him up and starts spinning him.
Yeah.
Just throwing him
So,
around.
so like that part of the storyline there, right? Like there's lots of different versions of the Morph character in comics and throughout. But him being able to become the characters and seemingly use their powers. That's I mean, I'm kind of blown away by it, and I'm super excited. But like,
Couldn't he have just changed into Magneto and be like, oh, I'll fix this, guys?
So what I've read about Morph's character in the show
Okay.
is that he's able to
They excuse me, Evan, you're
I'm
about to
sorry.
be canceled.
that they are able
I don't think that
to
the character has stated what pronouns they prefer.
the last episode.
Then you
used
haven't been
them
paying
twice.
close enough attention, Martin. You're canceled too.
that they
Thank
are
God.
able to
See you guys later.
use their powers
Mhm.
to replicate physical powers of other characters, but not necessarily mutant-based powers of other
Okay.
characters. Which I think, like, so he can make himself stronger, or he can manifest Archangel's wings to fly,
Right.
or he can create
Multiple arms like
weapons.
Spiral.
And but he can't, create Storm's ability to control weather. So that was the gimmick that I read that I thought made sense to me. Because otherwise,
They get super strength.
he's way too powerful.
Right.
If he can just be any mutant.
Well, if he can just
Him
make stronger
creating the
muscles
weapons, I thought was
or
like,
denser.
when he becomes Psylocke and he suddenly has swords. I
Yeah.
was like, this is super interesting, because obviously that could leave his body, so like he could be disconnected if it's just a sword. He literally pulls it out.
Well, he
Oh.
gets-
So I'm kind of curious about that.
Well, he
Like
gets
how
shot in the
far
head
is
and
his?
it-
When
Oh,
did
his
Cable
face
get
was going.
sinisterized? I don't remember seeing that in the episode, and I forgot to look when we were going through it earlier.
When he was a teeny tiny baby.
Is it just left over from that? Okay. I wasn't sure
Right.
there was something that happened in the story where it
Like he left a virus in him or
Sure.
something, and now it's
the technical
come forward.
technical organic virus.
Yeah.
Well, when he had him back then, he did
Yeah.
all the techno
like
organic.
secondary coding, like in the current cocoa. We just went through 2 years of that, right?
Did Sinister ever do that to people? Put like the little diamond in their
Gems,
forehead
yeah.
to control?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good gimmick. Such great.
Now we're just watching the show.
Instead of
But,
instead of just taking someone over, you give them a nice piece of jewelry. It's great. Win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
You get a henchman, and they get jewelry.
what do we think is
Yes.
going to happen in this final episode here?
Wait, is it the final episode or we have two?
No, there's only one more.
Oh wow,
wow.
I'm behind on
Is that all
my
first
numbering.
season? Wow.
I think we're gonna get Feral Wolverine with the hairy forearms.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And he's just gonna run around and bark at people.
Well, I was telling Evan in the final episode, I want there to be a post-credit scene where Captain America finds his shield.
Yes, that'd be a good gimmick.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that next season we're gonna definitely get at least one Alpha Flight episode because they're gonna go back to the roots because it's Wolverine losing his
oh
stuff.
my god! If they did
So-
issue 78 of the Larry Hama, like if they did him just like upstate, like not upstate, but like in the Canadian Rockies, driving around on a motorcycle with the wolf pelt on his head, I'm back in.
But yeah, I think we're gonna get like one Guardian episode, and Snowbird will be in the corner, and Sasquatch comes through, and it'll probably be a Fighting the Wendigo episode. Let's be honest. It's you can redo that over and over again. Cannibalism's always popular.
Well, the thing I want to see, because Roughhouse and Bloodscream exist in the animated universe, because they had a cameo leaving the bar at Muir Island.
Okay.
And because I've been watching the original series with my daughter.
Sure.
She's been loving it. No, I don't know. She's 2. She puts up with it. So I know they exist. In '78, he fights Bloodscream. So like up in the Canadian Rockies in the snow. So Bloodscream's around. They could do it.
Yeah.
They could do it.
I heard somebody talking about them trying to do maybe a 3-episode swing about all of the weapons. Captain America's weapon 1.
Well, let's be realistic.
10.
With this group, it'll be 15 minutes of one episode where they do all that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Legoman says cannibalism is always popular.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, Bloodscream's cannibal.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of issue 78 there. But I think Logan has the Muramasa blade. I think in that thing, so that could be a thing that happens. I'm just because they've curated pretty well from the storylines.
Sure.
I'm just wary because I know that there's maybe the writing isn't terrible, but I think there's like a lot of not great X-Men stories.
Sure.
We're borderline the birth of Onslaught here, so.
Right. That could be happening.
I can really wait for Michael Kelly to get up to the Onslaught story. I made an attempt last year to read it and could not.
In the '92 show, he had an asteroid M already, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he just brought it out of the ground.
Yeah, it fell.
Is that how it ended? I don't remember that.
And then he was like, "I'm kind of depressed that Asteroid M's gone."
I'm gonna bring him back. It's a
well,
cool base.
Yeah, it's in the video game. It's kind of iconic. That side scroller beat 'em up.
Right.
Jonathan says, "Does Magneto make it out alive?" That's a good question. Does Magneto make it out alive?
God, I hope not. You can't do that to my boy and make it out. Sorry.
He gets de-aged and becomes Joseph.
Yeah. In further comics.
And then I'm fine with him banging Rogue.
Whoa.
So maybe.
Martin with the hot takes.
Just saying. Senior citizen, not so much.
Well, yeah, what's your take on the Rogue Magneto?
I'm in.
Pedophilia, groomer.
I'm totally fine with that. I think we always look at them like even the theory of them all being students and stuff, right? Rogue was never a student ever, so like she's just been part of the team since a long time ago, and she lived near the kids. But even when she was young, like they souped up the character and made her 10 years older within like 2 years of comics back in the day.
Oh, she started out as like a 47-year-old woman.
There we go.
Originally.
There
She
we go,
was
Martin.
really old,
and they brought it down. They
solved
suddenly
it.
she had a mom.
and then Chris Claremont couldn't do what he wanted to do, and
he had
She's
to
always
mess with
been
the
50.
character.
Mhm.
But I mean, I mean,
47.
whatever. We did all wish. Okay, I'm sorry. In the '92 show, when they did the Savage episodes, wasn't she dating him then, or is that just
No.
the comic books?
No, it's just
that's the
some
comic
comics.
books.
No, just the comics.
I can't
Okay,
even
my
really.
bad.
I don't even know when she gets to the Savage Land. I think it's pretty late on in the Savage Land saga.
Comics or show?
The show.
The show.
I don't. I can't. I'm getting all mixed up here with my shows. But either way, though, I thought in the comics and everything, I thought that was a fun relationship.
So you're
That
pro
was-
teenage girl grooming. Got it.
Right. I mean, I'm still pretty sure she's supposed to be like 25.
I mean,
Not in this. Not what they showed in this cartoon.
So we've been fine
have
with
you
her
seen
dating a
Magneto,
30-year-old
though? He's
Gambit
ripped.
this whole
I mean-
time. I don't understand the difference.
No. In the flashback sequence where she's like, Daddy kicked me out, and my new mama took me to Magneto, and
Yeah, but
he
how
wore his low V-neck shirt and gave me wine, and then screwed the hell out of me.
Oh God.
I mean, that's
I didn't take it quite that
That's
far. but I got
exactly.
you. I got it.
Yeah, go watch the episode again. It's
But we
creepy.
don't know how long she was on the street before she was picked
Right.
up by Mystique. Could have been years. She could be like 20.
You guys
Yes.
defend it all you want. It's fine.
I'm anti-grooming.
Asteroid
I'm okay with
M,
adult relationships. I guess I'm just.
Epstein Island. What's the difference?
Oh my God.
For me, I'm mostly just anti-Gambit, so like it's perfectly fine. Whatever.
Well,
happens
he's
in their
dead,
life,
so you're
you know.
fine.
You're right. I think now she's not going to date him on purpose. I think because she's like
He's dead.
pining
Yeah,
for this
explain
dead
your-
person.
Well, maybe she's into necrophilia too, since she's
Oh,
already
God.
there with ancient Magneto.
Oh boy.
Sure.
explain your irrational hatred of
Yeah.
Gambit. I
So
forgot
Yeah,
why
Mommy.
you
so
hated Gambit.
so '90s are like the time of accessories, right? So as a character, you could probably have an outfit, and you could probably have a weapon, right? Those are normal things to have, you know. But maybe you don't need 2 weapons or 6 or a deck of cards that you throw on top of being able to make them explode, charge random things. I don't know, an endless array of powers that seem to show up whenever the new, writers stop in and just say, "Oh man, you don't know, he's endlessly powerful at this point. He can blow up an entire Sentinel. He can just charge the whole damn thing, right? That just happened." Yeah. But in general, his character always seemed creepy to me. Like he literally talks down to women and calls them sweetie and honey but in a
Sure.
right? Like it's
What's wrong with that, Hotcakes?
I mean,
You prefer if he was grooming them.
Yeah, you're subtle grooming over mild misogyny. Got it.
yeah.
Mild misogyny.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little mild misogyny.
But yes, in the
No.
comics he cheats on Rogue all the time, and like they split up. They're on a break. Remember the whole theory of on a break, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're on a break all the time, and he gets laid a bunch, and then he comes back, and he's just like, "You're the only one for me, except for all of that remainder that I just got."
So were you the first person I've talked to that didn't like episode 4 with Gambit and his ending with the Sentinel?
No, I love that.
Beyond the fact that he's
Oh.
dead.
No. I thought it was incredibly heroic. This is the best I've ever seen Gambit my entire life.
Okay.
Like I can't even be mad at this.
Like when he's in a white tuxedo doing like the flip off the Sentinel head.
Right, he looked like Wolverine in Madripoor, right? Like
Yeah.
he this has been the cleanest showing of him, the least creepy that he's ever been. Even the half shirt made sense to me in the beginning because he's supposed to be a '90s guy.
When he's cooking those beignets, he doesn't want to get the grease all over his
That's right.
shirt.
That's right. Says that he will always be for me. He'll always be the Fred Durst of the X-Men, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Because he wears the backwards hat and stuff too.
He
Yeah.
will always be the Fred. Now, this is
That's it.
very interesting because Fred Durst is on the rise. I'm not sure if you've seen all the Limp Bizkit social
Oh,
media
God.
stuff.
What is
lately.
up with this?
That's such a weird thing.
It's, apparently, maybe they've been doing a tour in South America or something like that. But
Yeah.
they're doing like these
The
gigantic,
Nookie tour.
like not even stadiums, like these outdoor arenas where they're
Yeah.
like there's like 100,000 people, and yeah, they're playing Nookie.
It's anti-Me Too.
And
That's what it is.
And he's just an old dad on stage. So it's interesting. The Fred Durst of the X-Men, both on the upswing. Fred Durst and Gambit.
I just remember from that Woodstock '99 documentary, the organizers went out. They're like, Fred, can you just tone this down a little bit? This is getting a little out of hand.
He's like, guys, I really like when they just burn things and rape girls. And
Oh,
like,
God.
Oh, let's continue. Let's make I mean, it was terrible. I had a friend who was at that show and everything like that. That she had to like get out of the mud that was in the front of it and go past literally as ambulances were pulling in to pull these people out of piles, and they found just like literally just women huddled in corners and found in vans and just disgusting. Like
This is a podcast for the record books.
I think so.
Gambit is the Fred Durst
yeah.
of the X-Men.
Yeah, he creeps me out. I'm sorry. And yeah, he makes angry music too for it was a great time for music, man. I don't know. So yeah, so not a Limp Bizkit fan, and
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
He's
listened
that
to
for
one of
me.
their songs and been like, this is me.
Andy.
Never thought that
And by
way.
the way, isn't he introduced in the comic book by like being
Fred Durst.
No, Gambit. He's introduced in the comic book and everything with Minnie Storm.
Like, oh, you introduced him with Childstorm? Yeah.
Right. Like he's quite literally hanging out with a little girl when it's happening. So I mean, like we're discussing grooming. I'm just
Who's the opposite
putting
of
it out
Fred
there.
Durst?
Like,
The opposite of Fred Durst, probably Beast.
I'm looking for like a musician.
oh,
Or I don't know, Moby?
that might be accurate.
But for the '90s, that might be.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see now.
Yeah, he's got a great track record with women too.
I know. Well, but then I was going to say who is the Moby of the X-Men, but that's very easy. It's already Professor X.
Professor X.
Oh, 'cause he's a
Okay,
big guy.
Jonathan Legman says Dave Grohl. Who is the Dave Grohl of the X-Men? That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Wolverine?
Classic, talented guy.
Which actually sounds
likes to party a lot. Yeah.
My
Wolverine's
buddy
popular.
in Raleigh went to go see the Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
we went to go see Neil Gaiman and Art Speedman. We could talk about that too.
Tremendous show. I mean, they really put on.
That's what he said. It was a great show. He had never
Yeah.
seen the Foo Fighters before. So who is the Dave Grohl of the X-Men?
I already said what I
Cable.
thought. Cable?
Cable?
I think Cable.
Cable doesn't like to party.
Cables.
You know, but we don't ever get to see him, right? But he enjoys himself. I mean, he kind of does whatever he wants to. We have no idea like what he does in between jumping back and forth in time.
I feel like
They
he's
never
always
show us
plotting
those
about
stories.
war.
Right? Like that's what he says, right? But he literally could just
He's
go
definitely
someplace
playing with
for,
guns.
You know,
He's
a
watching
year,
Family Matters reruns.
go to
in
the
future.
beach. You know.
I don't know if that's a good question or not, but Jonathan Leguizamo says Forge.
Forge?
Forge is dope. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He looks like the X-Men's
He is.
Q.
Coming up with original stuff.
He's like the X-Men. What?
Q, like from James Bond.
James Bond.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was thinking,
Is that not the name of the character?
Educate yourself. Read some literature, sir. Come on.
well, isn't Q Star Trek?
No, that's
Oh my
yeah. Well,
God.
yeah, that's Q.
Do you think
Yeah, that's
It's-
right. Well, I thought he was making a Star Trek
Oh,
it's a
reference.
letter of the alphabet, Evan?
Elementary.
Oh gosh.
It's like me being like, oh yeah, he's like the Evan of the X-Men.
Professor X.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm always having sex with aliens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bird
I don't
aliens.
want to
Bird
pry into your
aliens.
personal life.
Yes.
And bird aliens with a Scottish accent is
Yes.
what your type is.
Thank you.
I
don't-
love
we don't
Deathbird.
judge.
The Deathbird showed up and did such a good little.
That was an episode stealer, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Favorite moment so far, Martin. Give me your top 3 favorite moments.
Top 3.
How about 9?
I liked the sequence where the first time the X-Jet was going down and Cyclops was using his blast to like kind of propel himself down and all that stuff, and
That was a very cool gimmick. And
also that the fight with the Sentinels there with Storm
Yeah.
coming in and being just super badass and just setting that up.
I love when they turned the Blackbird into a convertible and you just got that shot of Cyclops like full on like
Yep.
beaming the eyes and spinning it around.
Yep.
They dropped some money into that
Mhm.
shot and it was worth it.
give us your third.
Basically the whole second episode. I mean, start to finish, that whole
Really good,
if I had to pick anything, it'd be the Storm losing her power, her reaction, Magneto's anger, and just all that whole situation. It was
Going back to Cyclops' beam, I've never seen them use Cyclops like that before to propel himself backwards.
So
But-
good.
You know what? It has happened before. And Aaron Berlin pointed this out. That
Oh.
in one of the video games, he uses his to propel himself around the fighting whatever, but he uses that to physically move himself. To which I thought, oh wow, like I don't ever recall seeing that in the the comic. But how cool is that you're taking something from somebody figured out for a video game and now you're
Yeah.
making it. So yeah, when
Right.
he kind of was checking everybody as they jump out of the exploding Blackbird, and just kind of like everybody's cool now. I'm just going to lower myself down with the beam. It was like, oh no. Sweet.
where is X Factor in all this?
That's a good
They're
point.
coming.
Oh
That's
wait,
season
well
2.
Strong Guy is in Genosha, so have they been like
Yeah.
disbanded?
Yeah,
in
I don't know
Genosha? Are they all dead? in
because
Genosha?
Forge should be leading them in the cartoon continuity.
Yeah, they can bring in the '90s X Factor right after this too, right? They're
They-
bringing.
because
they're
they've
bringing
been-
back.
Well, Strong Guy's still around.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he had a speaking role.
Madrox is
Yeah.
still there too.
yeah.
Jonathan Leguizamo, Gambit on the motorcycle. It's his number one moment. Gambit on the
It's-
motorcycle
That
for
was
me
really
too.
good,
Amazing.
It was like a Michael Bay action flick. There's a couple times that they've done it where it's almost a little not corny, but corny to me, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is very much an action movie, but it's done so well.
I didn't notice it was the astral plane that this was taking
Oh
place
yeah, you
on.
didn't know that?
No, I thought I was distracted by Xavier in his '90s jacket.
Nightcrawler through the BAMF is Jonathan's number 2 moment. Mine might be Nightcrawler when he shows up with
Nine.
the nine,
swords, the
where
nine.
it's like where he goes,
good.
I've got 6 reasons.
Yep.
And then you realize that Nightcrawler has one in his tail too. It's like I've got 9. It's like, oh
Yeah,
Yeah. He had like a pirate hat on.
That might be
Perfect.
my favorite thing of the whole series is Nightcrawler and Wolverine fighting back to back because you've never seen that in
Mhm.
really in a movie or
No.
I mean maybe it happened in a video game. It certainly wasn't
Yeah.
as good as that.
And then number 3 is Magneto standing on a dude's head. When was Magneto standing on a dude's head?
Oh, the second episode?
Oh yeah, when he
Oh, yeah,
he almost
yeah.
stepped on Executioner's head.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't really step on his head though.
Well,
It's all the ladies who were stepping their high heels on.
Executioner was
people's
actually
cheeks.
cool for like 10 seconds, wasn't he?
yeah, and then we kind of
Like-
just got rid of him.
Like I thought I was like, oh, this is like, oh no, never mind. Okay.
Wait, Executioner's cool?
No,
Yeah.
Executioner himself, like the character walked out and he looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like a nice moment for him and stuff like that.
It's a perfect mimic to his comic book career.
They were just
Yeah.
showed up and it's like
One annual and fizzle out.
Check
That's
out
such
my
a strong
armor,
name
man.
and then never used again.
Because and they said special thanks to Jason Pearson
Yeah.
in the credits for that, and I go, Jason Pearson has never done an X book. Why are they
Yes,
giving?
he
Jason?
did.
He did one. He did one. It was one annual, and it was Executioner. So I didn't realize that like that was his contribution
Yeah.
to the X-Men. He did one book, he made one character, and then he never did another X book. So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that
He
he
did
would-
Astonishing X-Men years and years later
No,
with Warren Ellis, I think.
No.
Yeah.
no. I looked it up. I feel like he did one X book.
That was John Cassidy.
What was after that? I think Jason Pearson's done more.
I believe you. I trust you. You have to Google that. But I'm pretty sure that when I was looking up his bibliography, it was one X book.
He was responsible for all the art during the vampire days.
Yes, but I don't know. It's been great so far. I'm really looking forward to.
Someone's fact checking in the
Yeah.
non-fact check zone.
Yeah, I think all the morph scenes have been really interesting and fun.
Best improved character overall.
I mean,
It's,
right?
it's funny for all the outrage.
When they ask for the vote and he
Is that
becomes
him?
Spiral so he can raise 6 hands, like you know, there's moments like that that are just perfect.
Yep.
So Jason Pearson's only done an annual. He hasn't done any other X ones.
Nice.
All right.
What was the number you were looking at?
No, it's not a number.
Astonishing.
He did Astonishing X-Men.
From where?
What does it say? He did 36, 37, 39, 41.
I was really excited to get the Friends of Humanity like cameo in the
Yeah.
beginning, and you know they got a whole 2 episodes in there and everything. I was like,
You know what's something?
The
When I
little
was,
bad
when I was
guys,
watching
you know?
that, I was like, man, they're really mimicking like current events real hard. It's like, man, did they go that hard in the original series? I've been rewatching it with Lucy, and
yeah,
they were that hard, or maybe worse,
Right.
in the original
Yeah.
series. Like they kidnapped Jubilee, and they were going to basically like kill her on stage in front of, you know, their people. So like, yeah, they've always been pretty bad, but.
yeah. I think that was been really good. I love all the morph stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, for all the grief people were giving Morph over being an androgynous character or whatever, Morph's been great.
Yeah.
That I think it's that humor. What'd I say?
and he's kind of fearless,
Yeah.
right? Which
He's not
cowardly.
horrible like most androgynous things.
But you know how
Yeah.
there was the big outrage, and
Yeah.
it's like Morph's been a great character.
Ah,
But,
tremendous.
yeah,
It's a 100% non-issue.
Yeah.
it's a
Agreed.
non-issue. It's the cameos are fun. You're right, fearless jumping in there,
Yeah.
and then just the snarky comments. Like
Yes.
the first episode where he's doing his Professor X impression,
Eating the beignet.
and it's just so cringy. But it's just like, oh my god, like it was perfect. It was great.
Yeah.
And can anyone answer the question why Xavier had to leave Earth and go out into outer space?
Because they needed the sheer technology to cure him from
Yeah,
the.
he was dying, right?
Yeah.
He was dying. Yeah.
Something was
But
wrong with
then
his
why?
brain.
Then why did?
Why the secrecy? Why they're not coming back? Why
Yeah.
the? I mean,
I think he just was like, I'm on vacation. It's really nice. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going
And
back.
I also think Lilandra was kind of like,
He's getting late.
oh
too.
yeah, we can't beam down that technology. Looks like my space boyfriend's gonna have to come out to the Shi'ar Empire for a little while. Sorry guys, can't beam that tech down. We need to come and get him. All
Yeah.
right. I think, you know, and I think that is the
that was your Lalandra impression?
Yeah, that's
very good.
Hey, it's
great.
me, Lilandra. Charlie Xavier, come on up to the Empire. Hey.
the technology.
But and I think that's another thing of the Professor X thing is like, I think that's kind of the beginning of a little bit of selfishness too. But like,
he's an awful
he's human.
character, really.
Let's talk about how flawed of a character he really is. I feel like in this series that like he's not super likable to me. I think he's a very flawed character.
Magneto summed it up for all of us.
He's
Shut
perfect
up.
in every way.
Well, I'm sure it's written this way on purpose, but yeah, it makes Magneto more likable,
Yeah.
more like, oh, maybe Magneto was right. Like Professor X, come on, man, like you're dropping the bag, you're fumbling the ball. Like
Yeah.
whereas Magneto's trying to take care of business here and you know do what's right for mutants.
Magneto-
And taking the
Magneto's
brunt
face-
for it too. And taking the brunt of it too.
Yeah.
And Magneto's face is the only design in that I haven't liked. I just, for some reason, think he looks like an older lady. And I think it's, I don't know if it's done purposely, but like any of the other cartoons
It
he's ever
really
done,
is.
The
like it's
sleeveless-
his scowling.
like
It's
Granny
something
Goodness.
about it, right?
So pale and yeah.
I feel like when he's in his regular outfit, he looks fine with the helmet, but
Right.
the sleeveless big M look
Yeah.
is a little weird.
Oh, they got to bring it back. I have to be the contrarian.
Can you go back to playing with a box cutter, please?
Yeah, okay.
Roll your sleeves up.
Let's go to
Um,
Flash Man,
He's just like
playing with the box.
he's constantly scowling.
Nightcrawler.
He has like Angela Lansbury figuring out something moments like
My,
Murder,
sis-
She Wrote, like
my sister's arch enemy.
Yeah,
Angela
Angela Lansbury.
We need the Angela
Huh?
Lansbury dub.
I'm not, sure, I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, you're right. He
but-
looks completely different with that helmet on.
I think he looks much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the helmet.
I also
It's
don't.
only
I also don't
iconic.
like Sunspot's like decision making in this episode either. It just makes no
There-
sense to
there
me.
was no time,
Mommy was mean to me. I'm gonna go join Magneto.
and that's what I feel like the problem is.
Well,
the
he's a
only-
teenager, right?
The only problem to me is the pacing.
Who knows
of
with
all
this
of
show?
That like it's just so quick, and I don't think we've arrived. Like, yeah, Sunspot didn't arrive there naturally to me. It was
Yeah.
kind of like we'll have this very forced moment where it seems like why are you just your mom's making you give yourself up to the Sentinels, and now all of a sudden because of that it's like well, that's his motivation to join Magneto's side of things. But it just
It doesn't help that that was such a poor scene anyway.
yeah, it just seemed a little forced, and I think that's the problem. The only problem that I have with the X-Men, and I think we've talked about it, is just pacing. It's just you like Scott said, you've got 15 years worth of X books that are
Crammed
crammed
into
into
8 episodes.
9 episodes. You know, you're getting 15 minutes to cover these big story arcs, and it's just like
Yeah.
let it breathe. Let's slow it down just a little bit. You know, which you said why you like the Jubilee Mojoverse episodes so much.
Yeah, I wanted to just exist in this world a little bit longer before
Yeah.
everything went so bad.
Right.
Like, because I think the first series did a lot of that kind of stuff where you got to just kind of hang
Yeah.
out with them
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in a moment here and there. And, I mean, it's the same thing I complain about with the comics. Is like we have to go at such a breakneck pace for
Yeah.
the next like 36 part story about saving the universe and the multiverse and the ultra multiverse. Well, and like the stories that I always really liked when I was a kid is like, here's the X-Men playing baseball.
You got a little
know?
bit of that in one of those
Yeah,
episodes.
they
but
did basketball, right?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
only a little smidge.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Oh, go ahead.
Jonathan says, Professor's kind of a dick. Also said, oh, Nightcrawler. Where does he go by the end of the episode? He just disappears.
It's true. We don't really know, right? We don't know where how Forge lives. We don't know how she's doing, right?
Yeah,
Right there.
was Nightcrawler on one of the teams? Was he called to the team?
Yeah, he was fighting.
Yeah, he put him out to.
Gold team?
He pulled them off of the ship and onto Asteroid M so they could go and sneak past Rogue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And she's like, Nightcrawler!
He's
Right,
still out
yeah.
there. I wonder how they're going to play that out, because like when Wolverine gets his adamantium ripped out, they're bringing the Blackbird back in. It's Jean Grey who's like holding the Blackbird
Yeah.
together on the way back in.
Right.
And I mean, there's some great imagery that goes along with that, because like Wolverine is like in and out of consciousness, and it's like a Salvador Dali painting in Wolverine number 75. I mean, that's when Adam Kubert jumped on the book. So that's like they gave him some time. Like he was really doing some cool stuff
Yeah.
on that issue. So
This animation's great, by the way.
I love that it
Cable. I
is
love him so
the
much.
two-dimensional,
Mhm.
because I get so tired of the 3D stuff. It just feels so fake and phony and
Mm-hmm.
like inhuman. Yeah, I know there's computer models under this stuff,
Yeah.
but it's built to look like the 100 years, of comic design, and bringing all that iconic stuff back. And the line, I mean, I talk about the ink line all the time, but like,
Mhm.
it's so important to me in artwork, and especially comic artwork. The ink line, like when it's gone, it doesn't feel right.
Right. I think Scott's lines have been great too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, Cyclops is even the stupid dad jokes have been tremendous.
Yeah.
When he in the first episode where they take his visor off and he's like, "Oh no, not like."
No.
I really did like the sequence of
It
the
cracked me
Summers
up.
family in the Porsche.
Yes.
I thought that was
Yeah.
great.
Well, did you hear the X-Men theme was in a much more James Bond tone throughout that?
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're driving the Porsche. It's a very James Bond.
I don't think we got to see that
sequence.
episode in
We're interrupted.
yeah,
quite
that
a
was
bit.
very much so. Both times we
Yeah.
flipped through that.
What they've done too, I think, with the music.
Yeah,
the theme.
Oh,
They've remixed this theme 10 times.
Right.
And there's like every one of them is great, and it really serves the mood, but it also still has that corny that nostalgia factor.
I don't think it's corny at all,
Well,
Evan.
I don't know. I love the sound design. I think that everything about this series has been fantastic.
Yeah, really
especially
has.
the 4.
I'm so happy each day when it's out.
Yeah.
the costumes. Yeah, I liked a little nostalgia feel, but I don't think it's really warranted.
It's an action
It
figure
felt
thing.
very
Yeah.
Pride of the X-Men.
It's an action figure
yeah.
thing to me.
I like Wolverine. I like seeing the brown costume.
Yeah.
I could live without Rogue being in that.
Yeah.
Jean Grey, that costume is just ridiculous. The Marvel costume is just
Especially when she has so many other stronger ones.
Yeah.
That one scene that Cyclops and Storm are entering in from the sky, and I can't remember what the line was exactly. I think it was like, Storm, give them the forecast.
Yeah.
Like,
And then like the theme is almost like the Halloween theme. It's like all minor keys, and it's like, oh, you don't want to mess with Storm.
That's it.
Oh.
She's
Storm-
so cool.
Storm is. I mean, they were all so well done, but Storm was one of my favorite characters.
Amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
Really, really
she
well.
just because she should be a goddess.
And that
you
voice
know?
actress. Jeez.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she got some heavier stuff to deal with like the losing the powers. I think that's what they're trying to do with the show, is to try and give the remaining alive members of the cast some real good emotional acting beats for them to work with.
Sure.
Because like they did it for Storm, I think it's a new actor for Cyclops, but like when they send Nathan into the future, he's like, I can't be a part of this because my dad abandoned me. Like
the Cyclops logic.
Yeah. From the original show too, I never really enjoyed the guy who voiced Wolverine.
Oh really?
So, right, when they moved on from him in all the other shows and movies, and like the people who took it over, I thought always did a better job. But now that he's literally 20 years older, I think his voice perfectly matches exactly what I was hoping it would sound like.
Martin makes the same thing about Rogue.
Yeah.
Like, he hates Rogue.
She sounds like a 60-year-old lady a lot of the times, and it's.
I
know they chose that for a specific reason, because they wanted to make you forget about the fact that she was 12 years old when she met Magneto. And speaking of Rogue, actually,
they could have only cast Lenora Zahn. They had to bring her back.
Yeah, Rogue doing the Cyclops or the Colossus role of switching over to Magneto's side, I think we were almost getting to a payoff there, but I think it's a little bit weak with the setup as compared to just all of the.
It makes more sense than Colossus.
Well, right now it does, because we don't have his sister dead and Xavier betraying him.
How did he betray him?
He didn't protect him. He didn't live up to the promises. Go read the book. Oh wait, you're gonna read the book.
Wait, what did he promise him?
Just the this is the building of the dream.
The dream?
Yeah, a place from a sanctuary for mutants, a safe place in the. Yeah.
Yeah, they also de-aged Magic too for that whole thing, which is very strange. A lot of de-aging going on in the X-Men.
And aging. Cable, you got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. That's weird.
He did it. Do you want to talk Neil Gaiman, Art Spiegelman for 2 minutes?
I liked Art Spiegelman a lot in that.
Thank
the
you.
X-Men '97.
Yeah, when Art Spiegelman showed up in X-Men '97 and he talked to Magneto, he was like, "Don't do this. My dad was in the Holocaust." And Magneto's like, "You know what?
Do you have a light?"
We went and saw Neil Gaiman and Art Spiegelman at the on-site yesterday. It was great.
Yeah, it was good. Neil had some good things, but I was surprised at how dynamic.
It was the Art Spiegelman show hosted by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
He's a great host.
Yeah. But they're great if you have a chance to see them talk. Art Spiegelman. Dude seemed super punk rock. I loved it.
Very punk rock.
Where like he would just kind of, finger to authority, but then would also talk about really insightful, like deep art things, cultural things, and then just how he's also just doing things to piss you off. It's like, I like that. Like that he's just.
Yeah, he made Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah. 1 foot in serious, 1 foot in silly.
Have you guys like caught any new comics actually that you've really enjoyed lately? Anything new?
New comics that I've enjoyed?
I read Blood Hunt.
Did you enjoy it?
I read Blood Hunt.
New to me, I picked up because I'm part of these online groups that are like selling different things. There was the I think it's called Flesh and Blood, The Crow. It was the first series that Alex Maleev worked on.
Cool.
The art is really good. The story is meh, but it had a preview for another one that he did, which maybe I'm getting them confused. No, I was Dead Time. Flesh and Blood is the one that I'm looking at now, and it has a female crow in it. And I was looking at like some of the preview stuff from that. Nice. Of course, this is a book that's 30 years old, so it's not exactly new. Yeah. But I kind of want to read that.
Yeah.
So like
actually,
the crow.
Rook Exodus and Redcoat were both pleasant surprises.
I
I think
think
for us.
we thought they were going to be good,
Yeah.
but they were very good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
just gave you. Redcoat, just like it's
It's just fun.
it's like uh, science fiction, fantasy, history, where a little occultism.
Little occultism,
But they were also using like real characters from like the American Revolutionary War, the weird stuff that they're doing, and how this guy stumbles into all of this. And
Jack of all trades.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then Rook Exodus, I was not. It was the one I was least looking forward
Yeah.
to.
You hadn't even read it.
And Martin, Stephen told Martin, it's like, I don't think I'm going to read it. Like, I took it home, but I was like, it just doesn't, the plot, or the premise doesn't appeal to me. And then
Okay.
2 days later, Martin's like, you got to read it. And I read it, and I was like, oh, that might be the best one. Like
Yeah.
that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Jason Fibach is just
Beautiful.
His name is,
And
yeah.
the story, I thought the story was
Yeah.
decent, too. I really did.
There's more depth to it. This concept seemed a little bit weird.
The
We got-
concept seemed hokey. to
even
me.
still now, like, why do these people have
Yeah.
the ability to control the animals, a specific animal? But
man, it's very pretty. And
It
the
sounds
story,
like a very 1980s toy line.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It basically, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it seems really cool.
Did you read anything?
I think the Sabretooth War on the Wolverine books has been really good.
Yeah.
It's completely out of continuity with the rest of the Fall of X.
Good.
So it's like it's somewhere in the
weird.
middle. It's somewhere in the middle, but they literally just wrote an entire story.
I thought they were
Um,
shooting that out so quickly because they had to make it match up with everything. That's
Not
hilarious.
so much. Like they literally give you a warning and they be like, this happens actually before this thing happened, and they keep on doing it over and over again. So I don't know. But it's been super bloody and neat, and if you like Wolverine stories, this one's been pretty dope. And I recently pulled out of a box though. Do you guys ever read Wolverine Schnicked, the book?
No.
Was it the anime one?
Yeah.
The manga one?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I don't have it though.
It's super fun. I think it's well worth like running through. There's very little dialogue.
So you don't have to read it?
Right, like
Yeah.
he literally
Sold.
just like the art though is super fun and fantastic, and it's a really cool like fun like quick story. But yeah, I pulled up the first book of that and I was like, oh, this is great.
I've been reading. I got Man Thing and Werewolf by Night from the '90s. I got a good deal on
Ooh.
that. The first 2 issues of Man Thing are very good. Then they introduce like a faux.
Are those color?
They're in color.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's Liam Sharp
Okay.
Mm.
on the art. And I like it when he's doing it traditionally. When he goes into photo collage, digital stuff, I'm not as big of a fan. But the first 2 issues are excellent. With like his ex-wife, like meeting, like Doctor Strange, like gets his ex-wife to like go and like talk to him because they're trying to like save the. There's always a threat to the
Yeah.
nexus of realities or whatever. So he has to get the wife because she has a connection with him, and like that's how they
I'm trying to picture what series this is.
it was the Strange Tales launch. It was in '97. But I remember seeing the ads because like the ads would all have like a Man Thing like touched one side of her face and like burned one side of her face, and I remember seeing the Liam Sharp drawing of that, and it like has stuck with me for 30 years because it was kind of a harrowing thing to see in the previous catalog.
Martin, you're really thinking here.
I am.
I don't know if we ever got it here because I think if it was on the shelf, I would have gotten it.
No, you had $4 to spend, so you would have
Yeah,
gotten,
you're
you
12
would have gotten a
years old.
Wolverine.
Well, I think I've thrown them away, but I had notebooks where I carefully wrote down the books that were coming in that week, and I like crossed out and like circled some because I was like, I knew I only had so much money, and that's how I got Nova, and then I wasted my money on X-51 Machine Man.
Now we got Wolverines popping out at $6 an issue.
You can just, I think like the essential copies of like the giant chunks of story are.
What
you can get
essentials
for
are you
$6.
looking for?
What was I
Sorry,
looking for?
unrelated. Should be off camera.
Tomb of Dracula
Okay.
3 and 4 I would be
Alright.
into. Any Howard the Duck I'd be into. Basically anything with that Gene Colan does done work on that would probably be into.
I wish they still did Essentials.
Yep, I love the Epic line. Don't get me wrong, but the
Epic's
essentials
fine.
were.
Essentials, those big, early 2000s, mid 2000s. Yeah, just getting that big telephone book chunk.
Black and white.
On the
But
news.
not
And
with
then
the
you just-
color. Don't give me that
Yeah,
color.
you don't
on
you
those
don't
lines.
you don't believe in color,
I didn't
and
need the, yeah.
and it was just fun. You could take them anywhere. You don't care about them because they were.
I told you
$10
that was like my
yeah.
bathroom reading. Like I don't have books in my bathroom, but I had like a gigantic stack of Essentials in my bathroom when I was like in my mid 20s because it's just like I didn't care if they got ruined.
That was my travel stuff.
That
to
was just my
read.
bathroom
Yeah,
reading.
I
I
know.
just sit on the can and read Fantastic
Yeah.
Four.
I do have a Fantastic Four first one of that. It's Kirby's art does not really look like Kirby through like a big chunk of that beginning of that. 'Cause not the one that we think of with the angular
Yeah.
and the bold lines so much. But
Well, it's a muddy thing.
Some of the,
very muddy.
Some of the transfer seems a little off on some of those pages and stuff, like where he was either shrinking down or shrinking or
Yeah.
growing up. It just looks like some of the lining isn't perfect and stuff.
I was spoiled because like the essentials that I started with reading were like from things that were produced later. So
Yeah.
the print production,
Oh.
the styles in the print production are
Yeah.
more advanced.
Sure.
So so I was used to like reading X-Men and even Doctor Strange from like I think it's 63, maybe even later. I don't remember. But like very crisp and clean Steve Ditko artwork, and then going back and looking at Fantastic Four thing, I was like, oh, this is like so muddy and like, but it's a 62, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so and it's before Marvel is.
it's really Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes a while for it to click.
And the best Fall of X book has been Iron Man, by the way. It's like, if you're,
Weird.
Can you explain that in 30 seconds?
sure, yeah, so he's been dating Emma, and they basically have like a fake marriage, sort of, but they're kind of really married, and it's been an adorable relationship. But besides that, he's been secretly, helping the X-Men and mutants stay alive and build an army, and it's this, it's kind of like a whole kind of like almost like a Power Ranger feel to the last bit of story, because he like builds a giant mech and takes on all the Sentinels. It's been fantastic.
It's
really
been
good.
fantastic for their sales because they gained all the X-Men readers
Correct.
on that, which is really hilarious to me.
Yeah.
That
But the writing's been clean. All the stuff about his relationship with like everything, like the club with Wilson Fisk being into it, like there's all these different like side storylines that all came together in that book of all things, and yeah, it's been great.
That's best.
So this-
the
yeah.
best, the best
How many
X
issues
book-
of Avengers have tied into Fall of X? Because I didn't notice the Fall of X logo until the one that just came out.
This is it.
Okay, that's
And
okay.
actually, this is the last
Alright.
2 pages.
All right.
It's the first time we've pretended like it's happening.
All right. Good. Good. I felt bad about that because
I think at one point Black Panther might have said something in like one box 10 issues ago or something, but like
them X-Men's is
nothing else.
falling.
Like, man, the whole world's coming together, and we have stuff in space to do. It's
I'm glad that Iron Man finally has a giant mech suit because if you ever read Earth X, his entire compound
yeah.
was a giant mech.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sick.
We gotta track those down too for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mysterium metal story that they've had during all of Krakoa never mattered. And then all of a sudden now we have Iron Man using it to make suits, and you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Oh, thank you so much. You completed one storyline in all of Krakoa that's actually good. Thanks.
Uh,
So,
It's like in the comics, they're like every single idea you've ever had ever, we're gonna do all of it, and then in the show it's like we're gonna take 3 things, we're just gonna sprint over that cliff,
yeah.
and then we might be done, we might not be done. We're gonna put every idea into the next 2 minutes, and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's
For
over.
mediums, I guess.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah. Apologies
This
to
was fun,
Jack
guys.
Kirby.
Yeah.
So many apologies.
Want to take us home, Aaron?
I am home. I live here now.
You've been listening to the Comic Shop as a podcast with me, your host, Evan Coy.
Oh, and I'm Aaron Z. Lee.
We're here with regular guest star,
Scott
now a
Whalen.
very special guest star.
Extra crispy guest star Martin Kinney.
Apologies to Jack Kirby.
Many apologies.
Have a good night.